I think the biggest thing when I talk about other people who are, even like friends that are sort of interested in starting their own companies, is that I would just say go out and try things earlier than later. Um, the later you get in life, I feel like you're looking for obviously more stability and things like that. You can't take as many risks. And ever since we started this company, there have been so many ups and downs, and it's a huge risk. I think that um, I wish I could say that everything's been sort of smooth sailing and we've just been growing and on the up and up, but there's a lot of ups and downs, and you really just don't know until you try. I think
Yeah, basically, what you say is like break things and move
exactly,
fast.
exactly. I mean, even before
Yeah.
starting a company, you got to realize um, you'll never know until you do it. So you just got to try. And I think that's even something that I wish I did earlier. Um, you know, Again, when I was in university, I think that's a great time to just try things. And I was really pretty laser focused on the sort of finance world and didn't actually expand into tech or entrepreneurship too much while I was in school. But if I think back on it, I should have started later. And I think that I wouldn't have known any of this until I just took the leap of faith in late 2019 and started my own company. And I think that you can always be working on things on the side. You can always be exploring new opportunities and just trying things. And I think that's the biggest thing. If you have an idea, just try to build it. Just try to work on it. Even if it's just a couple hours on the weekend. I think that again, you never know till you try. So I would say that's probably the biggest advice I can give.
Hmm.
And I guess two is I think people just think that the startup world and tech moves super quickly, so that everything's sort of a sprint. But I think one of the first things I learned once sort of joining the startup world was that it can be a sprint. You're probably not gonna work on a startup for 30 years until it blows up, but it's definitely not an overnight success, and there's going to be lots of ups and downs and pivots. And we pivoted through so many different ideas when we first started, and we've been working for about 3 years on this sort of startup, and time really flies. But it's no overnight success where you hear of startups who become unicorns overnight. That's not exactly the way it works most of the time. So just realizing that even in the startup world, things move super quickly, but it's still a marathon and not a sprint. Um, so I say that's the second thing you got to realize as an entrepreneur.
Hmm.
Um, I think the yeah, I think those are the top two, but maybe a last one is that one thing I learned very early is sort of back on the advisor question, is that when you're doing something new, when you start in a business, there's absolutely no way that you can know everything. Um, you know, it's you can know a lot, even if you are like a second time entrepreneur. I think that of course that helps a lot, but um, just being able to leverage uh, advisors and people in your network, or even random people, is been super helpful for us. Generally in this community, everyone's very helpful, and there's so many times I go to a happy hour with different people from new companies, and then we become good friends and even mentors to each other. I have a lot of different sort of calls that I just take with people I've met, and there's a lot of people going through the same process. There's so many new startups, there's so many startup founders who are going through the same process as you, and even though they might not have the experience in building a huge company, like there are things that they know that you don't, and just being able to leverage the community and being able to really ask for help um, has helped us get to where we are. There's no sort of pride in knowing everything yourself and trying to figure out everything yourself, or even with your own team. So just sort of being able to reach out, ask questions, and get help. Everyone's very willing to help. So I think that's
Essentially, be comfortable being uncomfortable.
exactly, exactly, and just
Yeah, yeah,
understanding what you know and you don't
yeah.
know. Um, right?
Mhm.
There's so many new things. out there and so many areas of the business that you can't possibly have experience in. Even as you grow, things are constantly changing. I was talking about how our roles are sort of changing, how our team is growing to a size that we've never managed before, and if you are doing well, you continue to grow, and there's going to be new challenges. So just being able to leverage the people around you and your support network is super important.